Welcome to Infidelity Secret. Your support is everything to us. 90% of you haven't subscribed yet, so please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so we can keep bringing you amazing content. Also, we'd love to know where you're watching from. Leave your city in the comments. Now, let's dive into today's tale. Olivia sat on the balcony of her apartment, her fingers absent-mindedly tracing the rim of her coffee cup. The crisp autumn air brushed against her skin, bringing with it a sense of calm. It had been 6 months since her breakup with Jake. After the initial heartbreak, she had thrown herself into her work as a freelance writer, finding solace in the rhythm of deadlines and the quiet solitude of her office. But despite her success, a part of her still missed the laughter and warmth Jake had once brought into her life. She had spent months rediscovering who she was without Jake. She had focused on her hobbies, reconnected with old friends, and traveled to new places. Her independence felt like a shield, protecting her from the lingering ache in her chest. But every so often, the emptiness would creep in. Late nights when the silence felt too loud, or on lazy Sundays when she would reach for her phone to send a message, only to remember that Jake wasn't there anymore. It was an unexpected message that pulled Olivia from her thoughts one morning. A simple text from her best friend, Rachel. "Hey Liv, guess who's back in town? Jake wants to meet up. Are you interested?" Olivia's heart skipped a beat. Jake, her ex. She hadn't heard from him since their breakup, and the thought of seeing him again stirred a mix of emotions she wasn't ready to confront. They had ended things amicably, but the scars of their relationship still lingered. After a long moment of hesitation, Olivia typed her response. "I'm open to it. Let's see how it goes." The days leading up to the meeting felt like a blur. Olivia found herself reminiscing about the good times with Jake, the quiet evenings they spent cooking dinner together, their spontaneous road trips, and the way he used to make her laugh until her sides ached. But she also remembered the reasons they had parted ways, their different visions for the future, the growing distance, and the unspoken regrets that had hung between them. Was it possible that meeting again would open old wounds, or would it bring the closure they both needed? Finally, the day arrived. Olivia chose a casual yet elegant outfit, something that would make her feel confident but comfortable. She arrived at the cafe where they were supposed to meet, her heart racing with anticipation. As she walked through the door, she spotted Jake immediately. He was sitting by the window, a familiar smile playing on his lips as he saw her approach. "Olivia," he said, standing up to greet her. "It's really good to see you." "You too," she replied, offering him a smile. "You look well." They both sat down, exchanging pleasantries as they ordered coffee. The conversation started slowly, talking about mutual friends, work, and how life had been since they'd last spoken. There was a sense of ease between them, but beneath the surface, Olivia could feel the tension, the unspoken words lingering between them. She noticed that Jake had changed in subtle ways, his hair a little longer, his eyes a little deeper, as though he had lived 1,000 little moments without her. After a few minutes, Jake grew quiet, his gaze softening as he looked at her. "I've been thinking about us a lot," he admitted. "And I know it's been a while, but I regret how things ended between us." Olivia's heart tightened. "Jake, we both made decisions that led us here," she said gently. "I think we both needed time to grow and figure things out." "I know," Jake said with a sigh, his fingers tapping nervously on the coffee cup. "But I also realized that I didn't appreciate you enough while we were together. I got so wrapped up in my own stuff that I neglected what we had. I miss it." Olivia didn't know how to respond. Part of her wanted to acknowledge his feelings, but another part of her wanted to protect the progress she had made since their breakup. She had become comfortable in her own skin again, and the idea of letting someone back into her life was frightening. Yet, she also couldn't deny the sense of warmth she still felt in Jake's presence. "You know, I've spent the last few months focusing on myself, on what I need and what makes me happy," Olivia said softly. "And I think I've learned a lot about who I am without you. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go back to the way things were." Jake nodded, a pained expression on his face. "I get it. I'm not asking for us to get back together, Olivia. I just wanted you to know how much I regret how things ended and how much I care about you." There was a long pause as Olivia considered his words. The idea of rekindling their relationship felt both comforting and terrifying. She had built a life for herself, independent and fulfilling, but there was still a part of her that longed for the connection they had once shared. "I think we need to take things slowly," Olivia said finally, her voice steady. "Maybe we can start by being friends again. It's not going to be easy, but I'm open to it." Jake's face lit up with relief. "I can work with that. I just wanted you to know that I'm willing to take things slow too, if that's what it takes." Over the next few weeks, Olivia and Jake began meeting up occasionally. Casual coffee dates, long walks in the park, and nights spent watching old movies they used to love. Their connection started to rebuild, but Olivia remained cautious. She could see Jake was trying, but she wasn't sure if he had truly changed, if he was really ready to prioritize her the way she deserved. She didn't want to fall into the same patterns that had led to their breakup in the first place. The question remained, was it possible to build something new, or would they inevitably slip back into old habits? One evening, after a quiet dinner together, Jake turned to her with a serious expression. "Olivia, I know we're taking things slow, but I need you to know something. I want more than just friendship with you. I've realized that I don't want to let you go." Olivia's heart skipped. She had spent so much time focusing on herself, on the life she had created without him. But hearing his words, seeing the vulnerability in his eyes, made her question everything. Was she still in love with him? Could they really make it work this time? "I care about you, Jake," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But we need to be sure this is what we both want. We can't rush into something we're not ready for." Jake nodded, his hand reaching out to gently hold hers. "I understand. I'll wait, Olivia. I just want you to know that I'm here for you and I'm ready for whatever comes next." As they sat together, the city lights twinkling in the distance, Olivia felt a sense of peace wash over her. She didn't have all the answers, but for the first time in a long time, she felt open to the possibility of what might come next. Whether it was a new chapter with Jake, or simply the continuation of her journey towards self-discovery. The days turned into weeks, and their friendship continued to deepen. They laughed more, shared their vulnerabilities, and slowly but surely, Olivia began to see a new side of Jake. He was patient with her, understanding of her hesitations, and willing to put in the effort. But Olivia knew she had to ask herself the most important question: what did she truly want? Was she willing to take the risk of opening her heart to Jake again? Or was her independence now too precious to let go of? One cool evening, as they sat on a bench by the water, watching the sun dip below the horizon, Olivia turned to Jake. "I think I'm ready," she said softly. Jake looked at her with surprise and hope in his eyes. "Ready for what?" "Ready to see where this can go. I'm still scared, but I think we owe it to ourselves to explore this, slowly, with no pressure," Olivia replied, her voice trembling slightly but filled with determination. Jake smiled, the weight of the past months of waiting lifting from his shoulders. "I've been waiting for you to say that." And with that, their journey into the unknown began again, not as the couple they once were, but as two people who had found themselves apart, and now had the opportunity to discover each other once more.